Good morning, and it's February the 1st, 2021. Glad to be here with you today. I thought it was March that was supposed to come in with all the wind, but we got a blustery day today, and temperatures certainly fell back again. But it was kind of nice yesterday to have a great day to enjoy in January. But winter has returned to us, so I'm hoping that tomorrow our favorite little winter rodent is going to tell us that that winter is going to be over soon. So we'll check and see how that goes. But at this point, first thing we'd like to talk about some of the things that happened last week. Bayview Community Center, we are certainly excited to celebrate that. Finally, the opening. We probably could have opened a little bit ahead of when we did, but obviously we still have much of our community centers closed, and we expect that will happen through the end of February. We are seeing some indications, and we'll talk about with COVID sort of as we get closer to the end. There may be a light at the end of the tunnel, and certainly we expect vaccines to really start to show their impact in March. So we hope we're beginning to get to the light at the end of the tunnel, but it does appear that at this month, for the month of February, we will also be closed with our community centers. Still, the approximate 13,000 square foot Bayview Community Resource Center is designed to enhance connectivity with Bayou Tahar. We're certainly very excited about the rowing, kayaks, paddleboard, a variety of things that we can do to activate our waterfront. It's one of the things we definitely want to do there, and we're looking forward to hopefully getting that done downtown with Bruce Beach. So there are many great things that we have. We have state-of-the-art facility that will specialize in community spaces for water sports activities and community gatherings, and certainly we'll have outdoor and volunteer programs will be based out of the Bayview Community Resource Center. The center will also offer those rentals for kayaks, paddle boards, pedal boats, bikes, and more. So we're excited about activating that portion of our community. We really see Bayview Park is truly, as everybody said, it is really all of Pensacola's park. While it sits in East Hill, it sits on Bayou Tahar, it really is in the center of the city and is really created in a way in much of what it does to allow for activities for people from all over the city and even those outside the city. It probably is one of those parks that actually draws people from outside the city. So we think it's a great park. We also have a couple of things. I know I've been talking with Brian Cooper about some additional trees. We lost some trees with the hurricane. We lost some trees with constructions. We need to get back there, and we do want to plant. But Bayview Park is a wonderful amenity. We're excited about having construction done there. Not only do we also talk about the community center, but if you haven't had a chance, go over and see the resource center, the senior resource center. That center is looking amazing. The team over there is doing an incredible job. They continue to do a lot of it without actually utilizing much of the space. We are looking forward to a day when our seniors can come back. But the programming that we see going on with our seniors that's virtual has been amazing, and we're very excited about it, which reminds me sort of I keep hearing somebody telling me they were going to go to the Super Bowl virtually. I guess I'm going to do that as well. It sure seems like I've done it before this way, but it sounds better when you say everything is virtual. So Sidewalk ADA, we've now surpassed 24,000 feet. So the Public Works and Facilities has repaired approximately 24,590 linear feet of sidewalk and installed 398 curb ramps as a part of the city's ADA assessment. Approximately 3,410 additional linear feet of sidewalk is expected to be repaired by 2023, along with 1,623 curb ramps. The city completed the ADA assessment in 2017 to evaluate existing sidewalks, identified approximately 28,000 linear feet of sidewalks and another 2,021 new curb ramps that needed to be done. So again, to view the sidewalk priority list and the interactive map, please visit cityofpensacola.com. So we hope you will have a chance to look at that and see what's going on. Spring Street stormwater infrastructure improvement. You've probably seen that there's a portion that is closed today on Spring Street between Wright and Gregory. This will temporarily close starting today with some infrastructure for stormwater. The construction is expected to take approximately 14 days to complete. Weather permitting, traffic will be detoured. Work will be completed between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. Monday through Saturday, but the roadway will remain closed 24 hours a day. This is in front of the downtown library. So library users, please be aware of this and detour around there. Again, we have a pipe, we have a kind of a sinking area right there. And it really needs to be fixed with a pipe, and then we need to come back and fill it, and then we'll replace the asphalt. So again, for the next 14 days, by Valentine's Day, hopefully we're going to be finished, and we look forward to having that completed and fixed for everybody in that area. Just over the next 2 weeks, just please make arrangements to detour around there. Mayor's cleanup. The first mayor's cleanup, it happened for 2021, and we saw great participation from residents collecting 59 tons of bulk waste, 971 gallons of paint, and 80 tires. This event provides an opportunity for the City of Pensacola sanitation customers in the cleanup area to leave eligible items at the curb to be picked up free of charge. The next mayor's cleanup is scheduled for Saturday, February 27th. For more information, visit cityofpensacola.com. We're very excited about those. CRA is seeking public input on A Street, the streetscape project. The CRA will host a virtual open house on Wednesday, February 3rd at 5:30 to present the final design for streetscape improvements to A Street from Main to Cervantes, including a recommendation for traffic calming improvements. The CRA is also offering an online public comment period starting today, starting February 3rd, which is the same day as the virtual open house, and going through Friday, February 12th. Construction of the project is expected to start this summer, but we got pushed back, like everything else, a little bit with the hurricane and some other things. So again, this is your chance to make comments. We hope you'll make comments. We'll be ready to go and start construction in this summer. CPAC will be having town halls, the first of which will be Thursday, February 4th at the Fricker Community Center. This is the town hall. The second town hall will be scheduled for Thursday, February 18th at 6 p.m. at Bayview Community Center. These town halls will provide opportunity for Pensacola residents to share their thoughts on various topics, including the relationship between the community and the Pensacola Police Department. And members of the public may attend in person. However, there will be limited seating capacity. Face masks and social distancing will be required. The public is encouraged to participate and let their voices be heard. There will also be virtual participation options to be offered. The meetings will be live streamed on Facebook at facebook.com/Pensacola Mayor. The public may also submit comments and questions using the online form at thecityofpensacola.com starting today, Monday, February 1st. So again, those will be coming up, and excited to see that happen at the Fricker Center on Thursday. COVID-19, we certainly have seen, we've been bouncing around in there, and we've seen at least positivity rates still above 10% as they go around. We've got 10.63 on the 27th, 25.14 on the 28th, and then 12.03 on the 29th. So we still need to continue to work to push it down. However, our hospitalizations have trended down dramatically. We were at only middle of January, we were at 291. On the 27th, we were at 200, 28th, 201, then the 29th, 185, 191 on the 30th, and yesterday we were at 180. So we've gone down 111 hospitalizations in about 2 weeks. So again, 2.5 weeks. So again, if we could continue to stay on that track, do the things that we're doing, we're seeing some relief in our hospitals, and we're excited to see that and come down under 200 hospitalizations. We continue to need to wear our mask, and we ask you to do that. Also, the mask ordinance remains in effect, and the council will vote on the extension on February 27th, which requires face masks to be worn while inside businesses within the city limits of Pensacola. So again, we think we're getting close to the light at the end of the tunnel, but February is still going to be a month where we don't have the opportunity for those vaccines quite to kick in yet. But this kind of goes to our next one. The state is working on distributing vaccines as supply becomes available. Last week when we communicated, we had been getting about 8,000 vaccines a week, and now we went back to about 4,000. The state is really just getting over 300,000. So again, right now, we would love to have, it's not a case of how we can distribute it. It's more a case of getting supply. We have more than ample opportunity to distribute as we go forward. but our big challenge right now is getting supply. The good news is it does appear that hopefully in the month of February, there are a number of new vaccines that will also hopefully come online. This should substantially increase the supply, and we hope that they are able to be successful as well and be approved and be able to move forward. That's really what we're going to need to move our vaccinations forward. So again, the demand in Florida is far outpacing the supply, and some of the supply will be used for second shots, but we still are giving first shots. Governor DeSantis announced that Florida did receive 307 first doses. This is an increase from 260, and we're going to continue to keep seeing what we can do. Please be patient as the state works to get more supply. And again, if you have appointments, please follow those appointments, get your vaccine, and make sure you get your second shot. And again, we expect to see more of that happening as we go through the year. I do want to bring you a couple of things up to date that I want to comment. Some things that happened last week that I think are going to be important. One, Derek Owens and I met with the team from FDOT District 3 last week. We had a very good meeting. Again, they believe the bridge is still on. I believe this week they will have a bridge call, but mainly what we were discussing was landing. As I talked to you before, they came to us the prior week and told us there were some issues that were going to be there with the landing. The good news is they've sort of reworked some things, and we're looking at, there's a possibility of looking at having 17th Avenue available for exit off of the bridge. For entrance onto the bridge, we still will be able to utilize 17th, but it will require us to be a little bit more creative with how we do that, and we're working with DOT. We don't have a finalized MOT at this point, but we do expect in the month of February for that to come together so that when the bridge opens, which we're still planning in hearing them indicate somewhere around the end of March, that should be able to help us. Now, again, one of the challenges that we talked about was even things like just the tiles that you see going up to be able to do the flyover. The supply of those supply chains all over have been very difficult. And again, so at this point, making that and finishing out that beforehand, but there is a way to divert traffic around as it lands and be able to utilize some of the existing roadways we have. I think a much better plan came up after the first meeting, and Derek and I gave them some comments, and I'm excited about what we're going to be able to do. It's not going to be a full implementation of the landing, but I believe it can be just as impactful and assistant as we go through, and hopefully, our whole goal is to figure out when do they expect to at least get the flyover and some of the other parts done. And certainly our hope is that we'll still have 60 days after the completion of the bridge to get to the start of the summer. And so we're still hoping we'll know more this week and next week. We'll know a little bit more, and as soon as we have that, we'll be able to get it out to you. But again, the landing would have happened no matter if the bridge had gone down or not. The landing part was always going to be a challenge, and we knew it was going to require some work and some patience. We were able to get a good amount done while the bridge was down, but it was not able to be finished. So again, we have a plan in place that we're working with DOT, and I think it's not going to be exactly what we had before. It's not going to be what we have when it's completed, but I do believe it will be functional and we will be usable. And it was much better than the plan they first outlined to us. Derek and I are excited about that. And again, I think Keith and I are meeting with Mayor Fitch and Sam Abel this week and going to discuss some of that as well as other things that are going on between the City of Pensacola and the City of Gulf Breeze. One of those things that we will be discussing is moving forward in a number of initiatives. We don't teach children, but we believe we are integral into their learning, and we've worked through several things with our neighborhoods department. Certainly, we would hope we're very excited about opportunities that we're going to have in the community centers, but it has been really the closing of community centers with COVID. This is why, as we see our numbers coming down, we're very excited to hopefully get in community centers back open, back in use, and we have a number of programs that are happening. One of the things that we're working on with Gulf Breeze and with Milton is a youth council. and we're working through those things at this point. We'll be discussing that with Mayor Fitch when I'm on the phone with her on this week. But the Neighborhoods Department under Lawrence Powell and Kelsey Powell, they are doing an incredible job at this point, putting together a number of programs that are happening. Of course, they're still working on dealing with the presentation for homelessness. So they have a number of initiatives going. Very proud of what they're doing. I'm meeting with Tim Smith this week on Thursday as well. So this should be a great week. We have a number of things we believe we can work with the school board in the schools that are in the city limits of Pensacola, and we believe we can offer, I guess, additional opportunities and resources to help our children with their education, and we're excited. What we've said before is Pensacola Sports and Rec. I know last week I talked about, I'm a product of that. We definitely build strong bodies, but we also believe we can build strong minds, and we're working to do that on both the things we're doing. So very excited about what we're doing. Lastly, I wanted to talk about, I saw in the Sunday paper something about home sales. I spoke last week with the Association of Realtors, and we gave the state of the city the same thing that we gave to the chamber and Rotary clubs and a couple other things that we've been discussing that wanted to have a chance to see what we did this past year. We talked about creating that kind of community that we want to live in, that we want to be a part of. I think despite COVID, despite the challenges, Sally, a variety of things that happened over the past 12 months, we found ourselves putting ourselves out to the rest of the public and them saying this is a community they want to be a part of. And I think all you got to do is look at the home sales. I think 2019 was the most homes we'd ever sold. And in 2020, despite having 2 months of basically not able to do sales, we had more sales. It is, this is one of the challenges that is creating our affordability problem, is because of this issue. But this is exactly what we started on this years ago, and I think we're very committed to it. And I think when you see what we're doing, the projects we've got down here further with hashtag, the things we're doing in our parks, the community centers that we've built, what we're doing out at Legion Field, McGee Field, and out in Scenic Heights, just show the commitment that we have to bringing world-class amenities to our community and creating the kind of community that people want to be in. That's what cities are really most tasked with, and they're going to be judged by. And I think what it's showing, what we're able to do, more people want to come to our community, and that's a good thing. We're still working with that, but when you build the kind of community that people want to live in, they want to work in, they want to participate in, you're going to continue to see people come here. And I think, obviously, talking to the realtors, then seeing the News Journal's front page on Sunday sort of just confirms the conversation I had with them on Thursday and what we're seeing. And I think that's the way to sustainable long-term growth, is to have the kind of community that people want to be a part of. Like I said before, even through the pandemic and a variety of other things, we have businesses wanting to relocate, open, and expand operations right here in Pensacola. That's exciting to have, and we're going to keep working to make that happen. So I'm open for questions, and happy to answer your questions.
Sure. The first question is from Dave at WWF. Sorry, there's a bit of an echo. I'm trying to see if it'll go away. Please talk a bit about this year's Bicentennial of Florida becoming a U.S. possession. What will be the city's involvement in the celebration?
We are working it. There's been a committee that Judy Benz has been working with. The city is very involved. Greg Harding, who is our archaeologist, has been involved with it. And also Tinyade Broughton, who is now a council person. She got on it. Certainly our goal has been to be inclusive. She is perhaps the leading African-American historian, and certainly this is Black History Month in February. She is a leader in that and has been a participant in it. That group hopes to bring forward a series of things. I know they met with Keith the other day. I haven't had a chance to talk with him. I think he met with Margaret Stringfield, Judy Benz, and Greg Harding, and they are bringing him up to speed with events they have in the anticipation of this summer. Our whole goal, we did anticipate we would like to put up some additional markers of things that have happened here. A number of things. We continue to say we're Florida's first in future. We are Florida's first when it came to raising the United States flag. It happened here. We have a celebration planned for July 21st of 2021. That's 200 years. Escambia County and St. Johns County at that point are the oldest counties. They go back 200 years. They go back older than the state of Florida, not the territory of Florida, but the city of Pensacola was there as well. And so, we plan to celebrate a lot of those first, not only those things that happened in 2021, but really the things that have happened over the last 200 years. And we plan to be inclusive of that history. And that's what I'm most excited about. And what I've heard from Greg, Judy Benz, Dr. Benz, as well as Councilwoman Broughton, is that is exactly what's planned to happen. I do know that we were hoping to get from the state some things, although we kind of had some confusion. We went two different directions, but we are hoping for some additional funding to deal with some of those big, the big metal signs that kind of those ones that kind of designate historic moments. One of which certainly we believe is the 200th year of Escambia County. So the fact that Escambia County will be 200 years old, one of the two oldest counties. Certainly Pensacola was here before that, but Pensacola has a rich part of that 200-year history, and we want to celebrate that as well. So a lot of good things happening this summer. We're sending out the invitation to dignitaries, certainly the governor, and those we hope will be here. And we hope COVID is going to be, by the time we get to the summer, we're going to be able to have a celebration. We're going to be able to raise the flag just like Andrew Jackson did 200 years ago, and we're going to be happy to celebrate being a part of the United States.
And this is from Laura at WEAR. With the federal mask mandate going into effect today on public transit, do you think it will have any ripple effect of increasing compliance in Pensacola in general?
I don't know. I mean, interesting, that impacts a county function and brings them sort of into this. Again, we'll see what happens. I think the bigger challenge is what continues to happen with our numbers, and when do we see vaccines making a difference. But until that time, what we've always said is that our local decisions, our local policies should be dictated on our local conditions. And once we got our local conditions, we went above 75 hospitalizations. We have been asking for that. We're at 180 right now. The number is coming down. We do see some relief, but at the end of the day, what's helping us get there is continuing the social distancing, wearing masks. Those things are helping us. And like I said before, if we do all those things, we find local conditions changed, we may be able to make changes with that as we go forward. Certainly the biggest of which is continuing to push the vaccines. So we're going to continue to do that. And hopefully it's going to help us get to where we need to get to.
This is from Dave at WUWF. Are you planning a State of the City address?
We've kind of given it a couple of times. I mean, we haven't really done anything necessarily here because we update you twice a week. We're fairly active here. We certainly had that. We gave that to the chamber. We've done that to a couple other places. The chamber's event was a little bit different this year than last year's because of social distancing. We were up on it's kind of a cool day in December. We were up on the open area above the Wahoo Stadium, the Hancock Bank level up there. So we did one of those. I think we've given the same presentation. Casey, if we needed to do that, we could probably work something out and have it at least available on social media. Because we've done this a couple of times, but we absolutely can work to make something along those lines available.
And I'll just add too, we actually did send, I was just going through my email to confirm, but after your State of the City at the chamber, we did send that presentation to the media and to the public. And I think we posted it on social media. So it is available online if you need that. And we actually don't have any more questions. Oh wait, something just came in. I spoke too soon. From Jeremy at M Weekly. Can you give a bit more insight into this youth council? What is it exactly? And the city's coordinating with Gulf Breeze, Milton, and the school district on education efforts?
Well, I could talk a little bit further. We're still working with that, Jeremy, as we go through. We did have a good discussion, but obviously the principals want to make sure we work through with Dr. Smith, and we're going to meet with him this week, and we think those things will be moving forward. Our goal has been to do this for some time. Jewel Canada Wind wanted this to happen. This was an initiative she wanted to happen. We planned to do it last year. It was our expectation that we were going to set it up to happen last year before she left. Obviously, COVID made it where that was not going to be workable. So we've been in the works for about a year now on hold, and we felt like we could move something forward. The League of Cities is very proactive on this, and this is something apparently Lawrence and neighborhoods, also City of Gulf Breeze, City of Milton wanted to be participants in this. So we are looking for ways to work through that. We're still putting some things together on it, and I don't have the total details of it at this point. But like I said before, we will be discussing a lot of it this week, and we expect after this week and those discussions, both with Gulf Breeze, with the school board, I expect that we'll have better idea of what we're doing and can present that, and we'll be available. I know Lawrence will be making a presentation, I'm sure, out there, and we'll have something as we get it pulled together. But again, these are some exciting things that are happening. We've been working on them. It just is frustrating. There's frustrated everybody, is anybody, that we just hadn't been able to implement some of these things because of COVID. So I think they'll hopefully come out very soon, and we're excited to do what we can.
All right, and we don't have any more questions.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. Hopefully y'all have a good day, and we'll look forward to catching up with you. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. And I guess we should say also February, I believe 15th, we will not have a press conference, but we will have one next week, so we look forward to seeing you then.